With me now is Sister Jayanti. She is the director of the Brahma Kumaris for the European and Middle Eastern sector. And Sister Jayanti, thank you for being with us. We have a great convening here. About 100 people from all over the globe have shown up for the Spirit of Humanity Forum. What does it really mean, though, to have this convening? How are we going to transform and bring the change out into the wider world?
When we were coming together to think about all of this, we were seeing that so many different people are now aware that values are needed in the world. And so we were looking for participants who actually use values in their work already. I don't think it's really speaking to the converted, but it's people who have actually used something in their life. So it becomes a role model and example. And we found that as we contacted these people and now they've come together, it's really energized each one to be able to go back into their countries and serve on this level.
The convening that we've had here, 100 people, Spirit of Humanity.
Yes.
What has it meant to you? Why is it important?
It means quite a lot for me, and it is very important. I've been looking at the definition of the word inspiration, and inspiration means breathing life into. I think the conference has just done that, breathing life into people from all walks of life, and using values as channels of God to say it is possible to change the current state of the world, to transform it and make it godly. So I have felt inspired.
The convening, Spirit of Humanity, we've been talking for a couple of days. What specific meaning has the convening had for you?
It has a lot of meaning, because I think it's very much needed, what we're doing here. We need a paradigm shift from the material paradigm to the more spiritual paradigm. We need to come up with new solutions for the world in general, but when I think about it, I think also about it from the Icelandic point of view. You know, having experienced the financial crash here in Iceland, having experienced all the greed and hubris that was before the crash, and now after the crash, what I'm afraid of is that instead of greed and hubris, we could have fear and anger, which can be just as destructive as the other thing. And we need really to come up with new solutions and have a different approach to the problems we are facing.
I wish I was the most intelligent man in the world, sincerely, but I'm not. I also wish that I spoke perfect English, but I don't. And actually I wish that I was some kind of a god, but I'm not. I'm just a person, just a human being.
The reason that we invited those 300 people was that we wanted those people to go home and to go to their immediate environment and spread the word, because we were very afraid that if we would hold a meeting and not have these people present, that they wouldn't understand what had happened at that meeting.
So, what can we take away from the Reykjavik experience? We heard from the president, we heard from the mayor. What is Reykjavik, what is Iceland doing that perhaps the rest of the world can learn from?
It's transforming the way to look at political life. It's the way that having no policemen with guns is extraordinary. No military involved. Seems to give you a confidence that the human beings are capable of transforming their life from a fear that they used to be always under because of the ways that both press and others are always talking about the worst rather than whatever exists, good or bad.
Reykjavik, it's a pretty peaceful place. The police don't wear guns. There is no military here, and people seem to get along. Is it because you believe it's a homogeneous population and they're very isolated? Is there something that you felt, you saw, you heard from the president of Iceland, the mayor of Iceland, that leads you to believe that we could duplicate this elsewhere?
For me, it's two things, creativity and courage. I think they have been very creative to reinvent themselves, to reinvent their story, and they have had the courage to speak up. And how groups of artists have created a different discourse in politics, different discourse in environmental issues. That's very inspiring, and I just think we need to believe in ourselves, to have courage, and to be creative.
Just a final question. Would you like to see this happen again and again? Would you like to see this happen in your country?
Definitely, I would love to see this happening and being replicated in many places. I'm so happy that the mayor of Iceland took the initiative and gathered us here in this particular place in the world. You know the history of Iceland. It arises from when the Asia Pacific and European plaque and tectonic plaques and the American came together. So it's great that this spirit of humanity is also arising here, and I'm so happy, and I would love to see it all over the world, and I'll take a part of it.
Okay. There's 100 people here.
Yeah.
What difference can these 100 people make? They're going to go to 29 different countries around the world.
Well, it's the only difference we can all make. We can all only make our one of 100 difference. But we will all go back into 100 different places and talk to 20, 30 people, and that will be whatever that number amounts to. It is by insisting in our discussion of the need for change, every discussion we have when we get back, every meeting that we're at, every supper party that we go to, where people are talking about the crisis which we are facing, the economic crisis, which is high on people's agenda, the environmental crisis. If each one of us can be true to what we've heard today and go back and talk about it, we simply don't know where that ripple will take us to.